Something told you to stop scrolling, and I need you to know that was not an accident, because you have been waiting for someone to tell you that it is okay to start over, that you are allowed to reset, that the chapter you have been stuck in does not have to be the chapter you stay in. This is that moment. This is your reset. And from this moment forward, everything changes. Say every word like someone who just decided, because you have. I am starting over, not because I failed, but because I have grown beyond what I was before. A reset is not a retreat. A reset is the most powerful move a self-aware person can make. I give myself full permission to begin again, without shame, without explanation, without looking back. Everything I need for this new beginning is already inside me, waiting for my permission to emerge. I release every version of the story that kept me stuck, and I write a new one starting right now. This moment, this exact moment, is the turning point I will look back on and call the beginning of everything. I am not the same person who entered the last chapter. The reset has already begun, and it is working. I choose momentum over paralysis and forward motion over perfect conditions. The slate is clean, the path is clear, and I am completely ready to move. I stop waiting for the right time, and I declare that the right time has always been now. Every great story has a reset, and mine is happening right here, right in this breath, in this declaration. I am not starting from scratch. I am starting from experience, from wisdom, and from everything I have survived. I release the weight of what did not work, and I carry only the lessons into what comes next. A new beginning does not require a new location, a new relationship, or a new year. It requires a new decision. I have made the decision. The reset is real. Everything changes from here. I am done rehearsing the past, and I am fully committed to building the future. I release every person, memory, and belief that is incompatible with the life I am stepping into. My reset is not desperate. It is deliberate. I choose this. I choose better. I choose now. I stop explaining myself to people who were never meant to understand where I am going. The version of me that begins again today is wiser, stronger, and more ready than any version that came before. I trust the process of beginning, knowing that the first step is always the most important and always the hardest. Something inside me has shifted, and it cannot shift back. The reset is not coming, it is already here. I clear the mental clutter, the emotional weight, and the expired commitments, and I begin fresh. I am the author of my story, and I have just turned to a brand new page. Everything I have been through was preparation. Everything I step into now is the purpose it was preparing me for. My reset is an act of faith, a declaration that what is ahead is better than what is behind. I move with intention, I speak with clarity, and I build with the focused energy of someone who knows their direction. I release the need to have it all figured out before I begin. Beginning is how I figure it out. Starting over is not a sign of weakness. It is the exclusive move of someone with the courage to demand better. I am reset, I am renewed, I am ready. Everything changes from here. I manifest a reset so complete and so real that the people who knew the old version of me notice the difference. I manifest the momentum that comes from one brave, committed, irrevocable decision to begin again. I manifest that this new beginning produces results that exceed everything the previous chapter ever could. I manifest the courage to take the first step even when I cannot see the full staircase. I manifest divine clarity, a knowing so sharp and so specific that starting feels inevitable rather than optional. I manifest that every door which closed in my last chapter opens into something far greater in this one. I manifest the complete release of every identity, habit, and narrative that no longer serves who I am becoming. I manifest new energy, a freshness, a vitality, and an aliveness that only comes from choosing to begin. I manifest the right people, the right opportunities, and the right resources arriving as I step into this new beginning. I manifest that this reset becomes the most defining turning point in the story of my life. I manifest forward motion, unstoppable, consistent, purposeful, starting from this exact moment. I manifest the breakdown of every mental barrier that made beginning feel impossible before today. I manifest that what I start in this new chapter, I finish with excellence, with joy, and with deep personal satisfaction. I manifest a clarity of vision so vivid and so compelling that procrastination has no room left to breathe. I manifest that the version of me who chose to reset becomes the version of me that everyone recognizes as transformed. I manifest that every good thing I have been preparing for finally has the conditions it needs to arrive. I manifest a new chapter so rich and so full that looking back becomes something I do with gratitude, not longing. I manifest the healing of every place the old chapter left damaged, my confidence, my hope, and my belief in what is possible. I manifest divine appointments, people who belong to this new beginning finding me at exactly the right moment. I manifest that this reset is permanent, not a temporary motivation surge, but a deep, rooted, irreversible shift. I manifest the discipline to show up for the new version of my life every single day, without exception. I manifest that beginning again is the most natural, most powerful, most courageous thing I have ever done. I manifest that every seed planted in this new beginning grows faster, stronger, and more beautifully than I dare to expect. I manifest that the life on the other side of this reset is everything I declared and more. I manifest breakthrough in the areas that were most resistant in the chapter behind me. I manifest that the old story loses its grip completely and the new story takes root immediately. I manifest a beginning so powerful that it produces a ripple I will feel for the rest of my life. I manifest that I never return to who I was before this moment, only forward, only higher, only better. I manifest a life so aligned, so purposeful, and so alive that the reset becomes the best decision I ever made. I manifest that everything changes from here because I have decided, and a made-up mind changes everything. A reset is not giving up. A reset is growing up. It is the recognition that you are too wise, too experienced, and too called to keep living in a chapter you have already outgrown. You just did something rare. You declared a new beginning out loud and in faith. Now go and live it, because everything changes from here. Subscribe to Daily Affirmations and Manifestations. Every session in this series is a fresh beginning. Show up daily because the reset is not a moment. It is a practice, and this community is where you build it. Subscribe and begin again every single morning. Like this video and give someone else permission to start over today. You do not need a new year. You do not need a new week. You need a new decision. You just made one. Welcome to your reset. We'll see you in the next session.